Okay, mic check. Today, I'm digging into the topic of self identity. And more specifically, I want to talk about the concept of core values and having a personal mission statement. Clarifying what both of these concepts are to me. And I mean, like, I know what a core value is, I know what a mission statement is. Typically, I have only thought about this in reference to an organization, right? So you're going for an interview and you're being asked by the interviewer, hey, how do you align with the organization's values? Give me an example. Or, hey, how do you know our organization mission statement and how you can embody that? But I didn't have one. I didn't have a compass. I didn't have a guidance. And so I was introduced to creating that for myself during a women's leadership program that I did last year. And I thought it would be helpful to share for you all. I'm a dictionary girly, so let's first define what these concepts are and why I think they're important. A core value is a principle or belief that a person or organization views as being of central importance. And so, like I said, in the corporate world, it's a pretty normal concept, right? You'll see on the websites of organizations who kind of declare what their core values are. A great example is I went on Apple's website, and their core values include accessibility, education, environment, inclusion, and diversity. Now, if you've been through the interview process, as I've mentioned, typically we think about core values in terms of, hey, how do I embody someone else's, this organization's core values? We're not trying to do that. We're trying to make sure you understand your own core values so that way when you go to an interview or you're looking up a job description or you're wondering if I should keep this friend or if I should block this man, you have your core values that'll help guide on that decision making process. Because I don't know about you, but I have been in decision fatigue before. It's always kind of this back and forth of should I do this? Well, what if I do that? And this has been a really great grounding exercise that allows me to take out the exhaustion and that fatigue that comes from the coulda, woulda, shouldas and say, no, this is how I'm going to move, right? Because this is my value. This is what I find important. And if it doesn't align, then we're going to keep it pushing. Now, a personal mission statement is a declaration that explains your purpose, your core values, and your goals. It's meant to act as a guide or a framework for your decision making. It helps you stay focused and make sure that you're aligned on what is most important to you. Think of it as your literal Google Maps for whenever you are in confusing territory or new territory and you're trying to figure out which direction should I go in. Having a personal mission statement grounds you so you know, hey, this is what I should be embodying. This is the direction I should be going into. So, how can you identify your own core values and put together your own personal mission statement? Now, before I go sharing how I did mine, I want to be clear and make a disclaimer. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Or I should say, the wrong way would be getting caught up in your head or wondering if I'm doing this right. The purpose is to get clarity on you. And so, that clarity, especially if this is new in the beginning, might not be so easy to identify, right? And so, this can change. It changed for me. I did this a year ago. It has changed pretty much every quarter, some tweaks here and there. The foundation is still the same, but depending on where I am in my life, I found that maybe sometimes the core values or what I'm wanting to make of importance for this particular time in my life might change a little bit. But for the most part, my top 10 has been the same. They just might shift up and down depending on, again, where I am in life. The fact that you are doing it at all means that you are in the right direction. Keep that in mind. Focus on what feels right in your mind and in your body. Keyword, your body. You should be listening to Osho. And if you finish and come back and say, I want to make some changes, again, girl, you have free will. Go change it. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. To identify core values, the first step I did is I went on Beyonce's internet and I just looked up a list of core values. I specifically looked up a list with definitions because, like I said, I'm a definitions girly. I want to understand the words that I'm meant to embody. As one of my favorite authors, who's my homegirl in my head, Brene Brown, has said in her book, Dare to Lead, living in our values means that we do more than profess our values, we practice them. We walk our walk, we are clear about what we believe and hold important, and we take care that our intentions, our words, thoughts, and behaviors align with those beliefs. So now that we have our list of values and their associated definitions, your job is to narrow them down to a top 10. I know, girl. I know. It's hard. 10 is hard, but you got to do it. Now, if you're new to this, I definitely recommend doing a top 10. If you're not new and you've done this core values exercise before, maybe get down to a top 5, because that'll help you get even more specific, even more clear on the thoughts and behaviors that you should be embodying every day. What I did is I went through each word and each definition and I narrowed it down to a top 10. Once I filled out my top 10, I continued down that list. I want to say the entire list maybe had 100 core values. I continued down that list and I started to do a process of elimination. It was pretty tough. I had to think about things like job security versus freedom. I had to ask, do I want personal fulfillment or recognition? And truthfully, I had to sit with myself for a pretty long time to say, okay, does this feel good? Do I care about this? Why do I care about this? Because that's important to have a why. And honestly, I think the best part is just carving out the time and space and freedom to give myself to reflect on what do I actually want, what matters to me, so that way, when I have these 10 core values and I want to go, then turn those into habits or goals, that they felt true to who I am. So once you have your top core values, you can now begin to go setting up your personal mission statement. Now remember, your personal mission statement is your framework, it's your guide, it's your GPS. So to help you create your own, something that helped me was this website that was recommended by this author named Andy Andrews. And here are 5 questions that I kind of went through when I was trying to navigate what my personal mission statement is going to be. And so it asks, what's important to me? Where do I want to go in life? What does the best look like for me? How do I want to act? And what kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? Now, once you have those answers, you can start to craft together your own statement. Keep it short, keep it simple, make sure it's something you can understand, and make sure it feels good to you. Now, let's put it all together, shall we? I'm going to share my own top 5 values on Beyonce's internet because I'm practicing embodying them on a daily basis. I actually have them written down. I have a whiteboard in my office, and every time I come into work, I make sure that I read my top values and I read my personal mission statement. It's in a place where I can't miss it. In very specific order, they are health, purpose, wisdom, confidence, and adaptability. Those are the 5 values that when I wake up every day, that is how my behavior, the habits, the decisions I'm making should be grounded in that. And my mission statement is I am living a life where I feel loved, free, generous, kind, and purposeful. I am grounded, prioritizing health, pursuing purpose with intention, and applying wisdom. I am taking risks, cultivating confidence, building community, and embodying an authentic life that positively impacts the world. Clap it up for me. Clap it up for you, girl. I came up by myself with that. Very exciting. Now I have both my core values and my personal mission statement to help guide me as I make decisions on a daily basis. And to be honest, it feels really good right now. And so I hope this helps. I hope you take the time to do your own exercise to identify your core values and your personal mission statement. I would love to hear it. Share it in the comments. I'll see you later. Bye. Okay, but look at my view for today. I've outdone myself on where I wanted to record. Let me see if I can move it around. True Girl is in some nature, getting a nature walk, and I really enjoyed it. So peaceful.